Good howdy, folks. I'm James Blackburn, filmmaker, actor, and adventure seeker. I live in the American Southwest, and I'm surrounded by breathtaking landscapes and endless possibilities. My passion? Capturing life's beauty through lens and screen. From Red Rock Canyons to Hollywood movie sets, I'm always on the move. Join me on my video adventures as I navigate the wilds of the entertainment industry and the great outdoors. Let's explore together.
Okay, back there, about the center of frame, you can see my truck. That is base camp. So we're going to head back there, and it's campfire time. It's starting to get chilly out, so we're going to get back there and get a nice campfire going. And it's going to be wonderful.com. All right, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We're going to walk about 2 or 3 minutes back here to camp, and it's time to start to enjoy the evening festivities and testing out how I feel about camping alone. I've done a lot of hiking alone, but an overnighter, that's another matter altogether. So I'll update you guys as we continue throughout the evening, and we'll see how it goes. All right, folks, we got some water heating up here because I'm going to go ahead and make some dinner. Why not, you know? I'm going to do something simple, though. We got this Mountain House Adventure Meal creamy mac and cheese that we're going to put boiling water in. And then we're going to add some Hermel with beans in it. So we'll have ourselves a nice chili mac. I'll probably have leftovers to bring home for tomorrow. I'll just stash it in the cooler with the ice. But yeah, this is a simple, easy meal. I'll show you how it is when it's all done. All right, so when you stop paying attention that the sunset starts to happen, and the magic is here now. All right, we got the tent going. It's looking nice. And dinner is almost done, which is right over here in that pouch. I'll show it to you here in just a second. There you go. Chili mac. A little heavy on the water side, but that's okay. We'll be bringing some of this home tomorrow night for sure. But yeah, this is going to be yummy. And I will talk a little bit about staying the night out here alone. I thought once it got dark, I was going to get nervous. Maybe a little bit of fear. And that never happened. Once it got dark, I got distracted by other things that were happening, like trying to get this fire going about 9 o'clock last night with very wet wood. That took me about 30 minutes to get this thing established. I wasn't thinking about it being dark out. I was focused on the fire. And then once the fire was going and established, it was really nice. I stayed out here for about an hour, and around 10:30 maybe, I went to bed. And once I got into the tent, I felt fine there too. There was absolutely no nerves with it being dark out here and with me solo camping for the first time. I get this thing in my head when I'm back in town, when it gets dark, to think about being out here alone in the wilderness, in the darkness. It messes with your head when you're in the city. But once you get out here, you find out it's a very peaceful, relaxing thing. It's quiet, it's nice. I really thoroughly enjoyed the solo camp. It was great. All right, took a few minutes to get this established because the wood is so wet. But A little bit of work and ingenuity. Sometimes you get it done still, so I have a few logs laying around the perimeter on the inside that are wet. Kind of give them a chance to dry off a little bit before I put them on the fire. See how that goes. We've almost got it officially established here. It's getting close. A few more huffs and puffs, and a few more dry logs. We'll be in mighty good shape. Still pretty wet, so it still needs some huffing and puffing. All right. First night alone in the wilderness. My first campfire alone. Pretty cool. Overcame very wet wood to get to this point, of course. But it's happening. We got us a beautiful little campfire. The last time I checked the temperature out here, it was about 58 degrees. That was about an hour ago maybe, so I'm sure it's 55-ish by now, but it doesn't feel cold out at all. It's really nice and calm and very beautiful. All right, that fire is established. As I was saying a few minutes ago too, I got some wood laying around inside the fire pit that's wet, so hoping this will dry it out a little bit before I put it on. But yeah, that's fully established. No more having to feed that thing other than just regular logs. No lighters, no matches needed at this point. And now time for some classic slow motion campfire. All right, folks, it's awesome out. It's peaceful, quiet, and very, very dark. Anyway, it's a beautiful night out. Really loving just being here, campfire, the quiet. Hopefully I'll be able to get some shots of the stars tonight too, because it did clear up. I'm pretty sure there's stars coming out even right now as we speak, so. Good howdy, folks. Welcome to another James Blackburn experience. I woke up early this morning about 6:30. It was a little cold and damp. Even though it didn't rain last night, there was a lot of moisture in the air. And trying to get this fire going again has been difficult because everything is so wet. But we're going to have ourselves a nice little morning campfire here. I'm going to sit and relax in my chair, and we're just going to enjoy this beautiful morning. All right. Got down to 43 degrees last night, and there was a lot of moisture in the air. It's clear out right now, and I don't think it rained again last night, but there's just a lot of moisture in the air because look at all the greenery around here. It's pretty awesome. It's a small little campfire, but it's putting out some warmth. It feels really nice. Well above freezing still. I never got cold in my tent. It was fine. Heck, I even slept with the fan on for the first couple hours. And then I turned that off once it got cool enough, and I slept really good. It was a nice overnight in that tent, and my sleep bag and pillow, everything was comfortable and kept me dry and warm. It was very, very enjoyable. Yeah, this fire took a few minutes this morning too. When I got down here about 6:30, I noticed that it was out dead cold to the world. So I did some digging down in the ash, and way deep down inside there was a couple of little hot coals still kind of simmering, and I was able to build those little hot coals into an actual fire. It did take a little bit of work and a lot of breath blowing on it because everything is wet out here, but it's pretty well established now. It may not be burning hot and tall, but it's, you know, the core of it is hot, and there's lots of hot coals down in there. So this fire is going to go until I decide to put it out, which I will before I leave today. I will make sure it's out dead cold. But for now, 43 degrees, about 7 in the morning probably right now, and having a little campfire feels good. Okay, the sun is finally starting to get into my campsite here. You can see the truck is mostly in shadow still. Why do I mention the sun getting here is because a lot of my gear is wet from just a lot of rain yesterday, as well as moisture in the air overnight. And I will need some time to get all that stuff out in the sun before I pack it up. So I just been hanging out here by the campfire. I've been up for about 2 hours, and it's about 8:30 in the morning. And so yeah, just enjoying a nice campfire moment and watching the sun slowly come into the mountains here. It's a beautiful morning, really is. The fire's pretty much almost done. A couple blue jays that keep visiting me and landing in this tree up here. I don't know if I see them right now, but they were just there a minute ago. And I think they're used to humans camping here and probably having food out. So I'm not going to feed them, but they're very curious about me, though, I think. The last bit of the campfire is kind of burning out there. I'm going to let this burn out for a little bit, and then before I leave, I will drown this in water and make sure it's out cold. Don't want to have any problems. This place is too beautiful and green to want to lose it to a fire. So, yeah, so make sure it's out cold before I leave. All right, gonna head back up to the truck, lay out some of the wet gear in some sunny spots, and just kind of start prepping for the gear breakdown, because I'm only going to do one night out here, and that was last night. I'm heading home today. Got a Labor Day weekend, so I'll have a nice relaxing time at home with my other half, and we will maybe go on a hike at some point this weekend again, but this will be my only night of camping though. So there you go. It's an interesting looking setup. That much is clear. All right, folks, that was a fun, nice evening. I really enjoyed being out here. Doing a solo was not frightening at all. I really never had any moments of doubt or fear. It just was what it was. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, so, yeah, no moments of fear at sleeping out here overnight by myself. It does help to know that, a mile away or so there are other people camping, but yeah, I was out here alone. It was great. I think maybe I might do another solo again eventually. Next time, backpacking into the backcountry. That would be awesome. Okay, back to the reality of the reality of the reality is I'm going to start packing up the gear behind me, and we're going to start getting some stuff dried out, and maybe in an hour or two, head out. No rush, though. Well, up from 43 to 50 degrees, so at least it's a little bit warmer out. Before I take this tarp down, I wanted to show you really quickly kind of how I did it. First of all, over here on the side, I hooked up bungee cords to it. Let me go up a little closer and show you. Bungee cords tied to the wheels and hooked in to the tarps, and then you follow that out here, and I use my hiking sticks here to support the outside of it. And I also used bungee cords here that go down, and I used them with tent stakes to hold them into place. And you know what, we didn't get any crazy winds yesterday, but this held up fine. Even in the winds, Even in the rain, having this bungee cord sort of setup here, holding the hiking sticks into place. At first I was like, well, it's kind of short, but it ended up working out good because the slope of it coming down like that allowed the water from the rain to drain off easily and didn't pull up on top. And then when I opened up the inside of my hatch here, it pushed this whole tent up, so it makes it now so I can stand inside of there, and it's a nice little shelter. Really came in handy yesterday since it rained so much. I mean, I had a couple hours of rain and I hung out in here and under that tarp, and it was great. As you can see, I can stand underneath here. Yeah, my head touches a little bit, but up here it's nice and pitched, and it was a really good idea for shelter. I want to remember this one because I might do this again. The only thing that would make it a little bit better is if the green shelter here went that way another foot or two, which I have the space for it, because it was dripping off right here, right next to where I was sitting. So I had to, at one point, sit on the tailgate to stay out of the rain. So yeah, moving the tarp a little bit to the right, my right, that way, and it would be a better established thing. So right now I got my little battery powered Sun Life fan going here. This thing is awesome. I love bringing this with me when I camp, and I'm blowing it up onto the tarp here, and the rain fly, kind of giving it a little bit more time to dry and a little bit easier to get it dried out before I have to take it down. So I hung a headlamp here, so it's kind of my work light. I had a lantern in the tent as well, and then I have a headlamp that I wore walking around when doing stuff, so I had no problem seeing out here last night. It was great. All right, the packing and organizing is going pretty good. Probably be out of here in the next hour or so. Just trying to make sure everything's dry first, because there's a lot of moisture up here yesterday and last night. Just about the last of it. I have a shovel still down by the campfire, and I have a bunch of water prepped to put that out. It's probably burned out already, but I'm gonna drown it anyway just to be on the safe side. So yeah, it was a good day. It really was. All right, well, join me as I drive out of this beautiful location and back to town. See ya. Somehow a spot always looks a lot more lonely when all your gear's put away. You don't have any shelter put up, or a tent, or a tarp, or a table. It just, goes back to being nature again. Even though it was home for the last 24 hours, it was a good spot to be. I enjoyed this. This was great. Goodbye, campsite. You served me well.
I enjoyed this wilderness solo, where the only person I had to argue with was myself. But there were no arguments at this place. Only peace, tranquility, and plenty of snacks. I survived my first solo camping trip. At age 53, I ventured into the wilderness armed with my tent, some granola bars, and a faint sense of adventure. And by wilderness, I mean a campsite along Gilman Tunnels Road 376 in the Jemez Mountains of New Mexico. I breathed deeply, feeling the weight of my worries lifting. The quiet was pure gold for my soul, calming the chatter of my busy mind. The lack of city sounds was perfect for me. As I drove down the road, the world transformed. The scenery was lovely, and I discovered hidden streams, ancient trees, and some fantastic camp spots along the way. Solitude allowed me to listen to the whispers of my heart. I reflected on the paths I've taken and the choices I've made. Regrets and triumphs are all woven into the tapestry of my story. And in that stillness, I find acceptance, compassion, and peace. The wilderness taught me that growth happens in the spaces between. In the quiet moments, we discover who we are, what we need, and what truly matters. As I gazed into the future, I knew that this journey, this life, is truly precious. I carry the lessons of this solo camping trip with me. The wilderness remains my sanctuary and my church. Whenever I return, I'm reminded that life's beauty lies in its simplicity, its mysteries, and the ability to laugh at ourselves. I'm grateful for this journey, at age 53 and beyond, knowing that every step forward is a step into the unknown, and that's where the magic lies. Remember, folks, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Remember, folks, life is beautiful if you know where to look. Keep your eyes, your heart, and your mind open. It just might lead you somewhere special. Thank you for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Please check out my channel for over 1,000 additional video adventures.
Purple Martians.
All right, that's perfect. I love it.